Okay, good morning, everyone. Thanks for taking the time up today. My name is Steve Dawes. I'm the Services Director from Servium. Welcome to the first in our series of webinars. We branded these, I Need One of Those. So welcome to everyone today. I'm joined by two colleagues from Densify, Paul Hollow and Lee Cunningham. So I just want to kick things off to welcome everyone. Thank you, Paul and Lee, for taking the time up to join us today. So let's kick off the proceedings. So a little bit of background on Servium, and most of you deal with us and are regular customers. And our whole sort of rationale and objective really is to work with our customers, try to deliver business advantage. We're the troubleshooter. We're the people to go to help find you solutions where others fail. So we create value in many ways, but I think the key parts for me are we very much understand our customers, where your challenges are. We are very much vendor agnostic, so we're practical but vendor savvy as well, I think it's fair to say. We have a great account management team. We get some really good customer satisfaction back from our clients on how good we are with our account managers. So we believe we're very sort of agile and nimble and being able to respond quickly. And we have a great service ecosystem that can add value around solutions such as Densify. So our approach is very much, what is your challenge? How can we help you? And today's theme really is very much around cloud and helping people on the journeys, whether it's public, private, hybrids, whether it's on-prem, etc. And we believe Densify is a great vendor with some leading-edge technology that's very innovative, that can help reduce your cost wherever you are in your cloud journey. So our approach is very much helping you, putting you at the center of your business challenge. So Paul, I'll hand over to you and I'll let you take control now and go into a little bit more detail for everyone on the event today.
Okay, great. Thanks very much. Really appreciate that. And thanks for everyone for joining. So my name's Paul Hollow. I look after the channel relationships for Densify across the EMEA region, and Lee assists me from a sales perspective. So jumping right in, I know we have limited time, so I'm just going to run through a couple of slides that'll give you a high overview on what Densify is, who we are, and sort of where we are going with cloud optimization. So Densify is really a next generation cloud optimization solution, and it's built specifically for cloud ops. We have other use cases, which I'll get onto shortly, but typically, we find the cloud ops guys caught in the middle between application performance requirements and cost pressures from the business. And we're the only solution in the market that delivers optimization as code. We use our patented machine learning analytics engine, or our cloud learning optimization engine, to make this possible. And essentially, we make cloud instances self-aware of their resource requirements, automatically matching the precise cloud resources to applications' demands. And with Densify, applications continuously get the optimal cloud resources they need at the lowest possible cost. So moving forward, I just wanted to run you through a quick video. This is just an introduction. Gives you a little bit of an overview of the company, but in a fairly unique way. So have a look at this. Is there any volume here? Okay, so not sure if you got the audio on that one. It's quite inspiring, but end of the day, you got through the quick video clip there. Okay, so like I said, what we've seen in the marketplace is cloud ops or DevOps or IT ops. They typically stuck in the middle of this battle in the IT department that has them fighting to please the IT or the CFO, in terms of cloud costs or IT costs, and delivering the right amount of resources to the application owners. So there's a lot of pressure on his role, and quite often he's the guy that will be sourcing solutions that will sort him through his issues. So not sure if you associate with us, or if you have a guy like that in your organization, or you are the guy in the organization that has to deal with these pressures. Densify is the solution that can make this all a lot more simpler. So the optimization challenge is pretty clear. On the one hand, you have application demand, so capturing that raw utilization data, making sure you understand understand what your applications need. That in itself is quite a laborious task or difficult task, if you have a large organization. The other conundrum is the fact that public cloud has so many offerings. There was a study done by Gartner that stated that EC2, which is one of 90 services that Amazon offer, or AWS offer, there's 1.7 million configurations or permutations available in terms of instance types within that particular service. So it's very, very complex. There's other considerations that need to be made. Do you commit to RIs? Which instance family do you need? What storage options are available? Which regions is your data allowed to reside in? And with the ever-evolving application resource demand, and how your applications change, coupled with the fact that there's new offerings continuously being released into the ecosystem, it's a massive challenge and not something that a human being can do. So how do we address the cloud optimization challenge? These millions of complex offerings, millions of computations, and matching that application demand with cloud supply. Well, we first of all have to establish predictive demand patterns. So building these demand patterns over a period of time, understanding the workloads, building characteristics, so that we understand exactly what that particular resource needs to do the daily job it needs to do. And then creating normalized models of cloud supply and mapping the industry benchmarks and against the underlying infrastructure, and matching that to the application demand using these deep permutation and analytical engines that we run. So over time, addressing the cloud optimization is a challenge. Resources are continuously increasing, and through your journey in the cloud, the idea is to optimize and continuously optimize this, making sure your applications are running in the right size instances. More importantly, and this is unique to Densify, making sure that they're running in the right instance family type. So optimizing a cloud intensive workload on-prem VMware to a cloud optimized instance in the family cloud in the cloud is of utmost importance. We can help you with scale groups as well. So ASG, for example, in AWS, we can help you match the supply according to the characteristics of your workload. So if you have peaky workloads that are busy at certain times of the day, we can accommodate that as well. What we found is that on the hit list, on the top 10 in that list of the CTO, CIO, is their container strategy. What are they going to be doing, further down the line in their cloud strategy to maximize the utilization? And containers is a big subject. We are perfectly positioned to help place workloads within containers and drive up density as we do in on-prem VMware. I'll get onto that in a little bit more detail further down the line, but essentially we can drive some significant savings and increase optimization within containers very, very significantly. From a reserved instance strategy point of view, this is another important one. It's a big area of cost reduction. Most organizations will have approached a bill reader type organization or some sort of optimization, cloud optimization tooling. That'll give them some sort of recommendations on how to reserve capacity in the same instance family. So, if you're currently running R4s or the R series, then they will recommend that you reserve those same R series instances in your reserved instance strategy, which is great, but quite honestly, it'll lock you into 1 or 3 year strategy that could be the wrong stuff for your environment, the wrong instance types. What we say is that you should be optimizing first, making sure that you have done your sizing, you've got the right instance family type, your scale groups are all optimized, and then look at doing the reserved instances, and we find that there's significantly more saving and more performance and stability as you move forward, and you're not locking yourself into the wrong instance types. So imagine, if you will, your applications just knew what instance type they needed in the public cloud. Based on their characteristics, this one particularly has peaky workloads, compute intensive, it's not busy in the evenings, most mornings, it's part of an active passive pair. What if that just knew the newly released C5D 9 extra large is its optimal instance? So this is what we're doing. So we're enabling full optimization automation within the public cloud. This is an AWS example where a developer has requested an M4 large as the appropriate instance type for this particular workload. It's unoptimized. It has no, it's not aware of its resource needs. He's just giving it enough to make sure that the application owner is happy with the amount of resource that he's receiving. So this is creating a systemic issue where the developers are hard coding waste into an environment. And what we're saying is that, we can inject a line of code here that calls on Densify, which has already done the analytics on the infrastructure and understands your workloads. And we say, Densify, recommend the right instance family type for this particular workload, or the right sizing. In this case, it's recommending to downsize to the optimal family, which is a T2 medium. And we can absolutely action that back into the AWS interface here. And that makes the application become self-optimized, and the cloud becomes, your cloud environment becomes self-optimized. So sorry, skipped a few slides there. This is a little bit sensitive with working remotely on Steve's screen here, so apologies. So this is an example of that, right? So this customer, it's an actual customer that we've worked with. They have restricted themselves to a corporate catalog of AWS instances because it was too confusing to do anything else. They didn't have a very good understanding of their workload requirements or what what resources they were utilizing. There was a lack of automation, which led to a really suboptimal environment. The original request for that M4 was very low utilization, was costing them an absolute bomb every month. Even with the RI strategy invoked there, it was significant. So we used Densify to optimize, will provide an optimized recommendation within that restricted catalog, and found there was a C4 extra large, which was going to be slightly better in terms of utilization and reduce the cost further. If we expose them to the full catalog available from AWS, we actually discovered there was an i3 large. Now, they didn't even know that this instance type actually existed, but it was the perfect match for this particular workload. The utilization was, absolutely perfect. We reduced the cost even further. Now, if we actually access their memory metrics, we could reduce that down further to an i3 medium, And the net result was then paying 10% of the current cost of that particular instance in the cloud. So you can see by utilizing Densify and the services available through Servium, they can consult with you to identify, this type of optimization, and the net result is fantastic savings. So how it works really is, the cloud learning optimization engine is at the heart of it. We do this deep workload analytics. We benchmark against the underlying infrastructure, SEC being the benchmarking facility. We also then will factor in business and functional tags, so non-technical attributes that that are important to the business. We're applying that to the recommendations, as well as a very in-depth policy engine, which allows Servium and Densify to consult with you and really drill down on what is important in terms of policy. So the three use cases that we end up, supporting, obviously we've spoken about the public cloud, optimizing that, making sure that your workloads are in the right size instances, right instance family type. But we also are very, very good. Our history is, comes from a world where we're very good at optimizing on-prem VMware. So driving up density by playing this game of Tetris and driving up this density within the environment by placing workloads scientifically, to get the most out of that environment. Because we do that, and because we know exactly what resources are required and available to that particular workload, as well as our benchmarking technology, we can build these transformation models from on-prem VMware to public cloud. So for transformation type exercises, we're brilliant at doing that. But also if you have a multi-cloud strategy and you're running multiple public clouds, we can actually do optimization between, or provide recommendations between multiple clouds. So the old world, basically you have this sort of scenario where the ops guy managing the VMware environment, he's at the mercy of the app team. He needs to provide the right sort of resource. Uses a capacity manager typically to figure all that out, what's available to him. And, he's got to be in check with the finance guy. The new world, you have your cloud ops guy who's now associated with multiple cloud providers, and probably utilizing some sort of agile process, CI/CD, continuous integration, continuous development. And this seems to be sort of negating the need for a capacity manager. There's still the requirement to finance, but essentially what's happening is that there are a lot of poor resourcing decisions being made. Micro purchasing is happening. App teams are requiring more infrastructure or more resource. Costs are going up. Finance is screaming out to reduce costs, and spend less. And that's when they buy a bill reader, right? So these types of technologies are out there, and they're great. They can provide you with, a really good understanding of your bill, how to slice and dice the costs and who's spending what, but they don't fix the problem. End of the day, you need Densify in your environment to provide this approach, and this is what we see working really well in a lot of organizations around the world. So using our machine learning resource optimization for cloud ops, and providing this continuous optimization, the app owner is getting the information he needs, because we can provide this in a series of reports. So we call them app owner reports. So he's happy that whatever's been taken away or added to his environment, there's justification for it based on scientific analytics. We integrate with multiple ticketing systems, orchestration engines, so it can form part of your ITSM framework, and automate a lot of what we recommend. So finance is happy because we're reducing the cloud spend off the back of doing some really clever optimization, and obviously by adding in the optimization as code, we're adding another line to that agile process in the form of continuous optimization. So this is just a quick example of the app owner report. So it shows before and after. It's not a black box approach. It really does explain and show the benefits to the app owner, of making the recommendations or actioning the recommendations that we offer. This was an actual customer example, so we saw a little snippet of this in previous slides, but this customer was spending over 20 million a year, really difficult time matching applications with with cloud supply. And the bill analysis actually led to a more costly RI situation because they had recommended the wrong instance types. In fact, 71% or 72% of what they recommended was on the wrong instance type. So we improved the app to EC2 match by around 84%, and the net result of that from a cost perspective was a 36% reduction in spend, and that was around nearly $700,000 a month. And arguably, this is a very big customer, but 36% is a big number in anybody's environment. So some of the customers that we work with around the globe, I really just like to use this slide more from a scale perspective and more of a use case perspective. So Bank of America is arguably our largest customer. They license around 140,000 VMs with VMware and trust us every day to make workload placement decisions. And they've actually automated a lot of the actioning through their integrations with various orchestration engines to actually action our recommendations. Disney Parks and Resorts, for instance, they are in a very much a hybrid situation at the moment, moving everything to AWS, and we're helping them on all fronts. So optimizing their on-prem VMware, managing the transformation, and also looking at optimizing their public cloud. FIS, a full elastic compute customer, automate everything. Integrations into ServiceNow is one of the big things there. They're one of our most advanced customers. So it's really easy to set up, and Servium will more than likely provide you with a link to sign up for a free trial if you so wish to do so. And this will assign a densification advisor from Densify who will work with Servium and yourselves to understand what's important to this particular trial, make the connections, collect the data and provide you with the outputs. And these are actionable outcomes. Typically, we find that you can, materialize these outcomes within about 24 to 48 hours. VMware is slightly different. The small connector sits in your VMware environment and points at vCenter or VROPS, but generally generates the same sort of outcome. So that's the URL that you should receive. This is this will take you to a landing page set up for Servium. So feel free to go and have a look at that and set up for a trial, and we can start discussions with you. So that's all really. I've flown through it quite quickly. I hope I'm within time, and happy to answer questions now. I think that's what we're going to go into. Really happy for your attention over the last 20 minutes or so, and look forward to speaking with you all in the future.
Thanks, Paul, for that. So happy to open the floor now to anyone who's got any questions before we wrap up. So anyone like to ask Paul anything specific? Don't forget to unmute if you do. No.
Happy to answer questions via email.
Yeah. So okay. Well, look, thanks everyone for taking the time out today. Just to follow up on Paul's comments before, I'll be sending an email out later today, just with the link for the free demo. Also, I've recorded this video as well, so I'll send a link for the recording. So all that information will be in the email link, as well as a couple more events that we've got coming up. In 2 weeks' time, we've got another webinar around cybersecurity. So details of that and how to register will also be on the email. And just a point to note, we've used Zoom today as the technology to deliver this. So we've trialed it for a number of months now. We think it's a really good technology for delivering these sort of events. So again, if you need any further information on that, then we'd be more than happy to help. So if there's no questions from anyone, I'll wrap up the event. And again, thanks everyone for taking the time. Thanks Paul and Lee as well for joining us today. Thank you everyone, and good morning.
Okay, thanks, Steve. Can I also just say quickly before we go is that happy to do follow-on sessions, maybe a deeper dive, custom demos, etc. to individuals. So feel free to reach out for that.
Great, thanks, Paul. Thanks, everyone.
All right, cheers, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thanks, bye.